Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of the video, it is a story time about having boy crazy friends. I keep on coming across the same trend on TikTok where these girls are talking about how you shouldn't be friends with boy crazy friends and people. If you see these coming out a lot of the time, it's my breast pads because like my boobs do not fully fit into the corset, so I put like these breast pads so that in case there's like a lip slip, it's covered. But I did use my makeup brushes this morning, so they are kind of like, yeah, tinted with makeup. So anyway, let's get into the story. So I was, okay, for beginner's sake, right, I was bullied a lot in primary school, like from before I moved to a new primary school. So before I was in this specific primary school, I was in a semi-private primary school in, like, is it the north? But it's like mostly in the north. Is it in Waltevreden Park? If you're from Gauteng and you know Waltevreden Park, you probably know this specific school. But I was in Panorama Primary School my whole life until my parents moved to the West Rand, more to the West Rand side, like Davidsonville or something like that. And then I had to obviously change schools because the school that I was in, Panorama, they didn't want to take children who lived too far away from the school. Cool, no problem. I ended up in another primary school, and that was like the first time I saw a school that did not have any order. Panorama was very, and I'm mentioning the name because it was a very not prestigious school, but it was very organized and in order. There was discipline. Like even when you sat down in class, you cannot slouch. Yeah. So as I was saying, I get moved to a new school. Now in Panorama, guys, like our dress code was monitored to the point where when you get into the schoolyard, they would count 4 fingers from your knee to make sure that your school skirt is really 4 fingers from your knees, right? It was always like some sort of discipline enforced, like heavily enforced in that school. I get to my new primary school. I get there, guys, I'm a lost child. I stand there, there's a whole bunch of like other kids, and I remember there were kids walking around with speakers, and in my head I was just like, oh my gosh, like that is like a violation. And because I come from this white school with like a lot of discipline, with a lot of like manners, and like you have to be in order and organized. Guys, I get there, this other kid is playing music on a speaker, this other one is like swearing. I check these other girls, they wearing skepe, like skepe. And let me tell you something, like another reason, I don't know if some of you guys know this or remember from like when I was still filming, I do not know how to speak my mother tongue fluently because I was raised in an English household. I was sent to an English school. I had an English speaking nanny. Even our helper was full, like she only spoke English to us, and her name was Jane. She was a Zulu woman, God bless her soul, I loved her so much. She was a Zulu woman, but she only spoke English to us because my parents ordered that in their household there will be no Afrikaans, there will be no other language, nothing, only English. So I do not know how, even till today, I do not know how to fully speak my mother tongue like fluently, but I do understand it at least. Fast forward, right, I'm at the school, kids are talking, and mind you, it's a lot of black kids. I'm shocked because I'm like, yo, I come from a school with like it's like dominated by white people, and not just white people but also people from like Portugal, people from there was a guy, they were like, yeah. I decided to move to my bedroom because people are home and there's just going to be a lot of ruckus on the other side of the house, so I decided to move to my bedroom for peace sake. My voice is also not going to be like as amplified as it was earlier, obviously because people are home. So let me put my makeup on and get on with the story. Anyways, so I get to my classroom. I didn't say I'm bombarded with all this like disorganization in the school. People are wearing winter uniform mixed with like summer uniform, and I just don't understand. And there's like a lot of girls with really short skirts, and the teachers are like actively there, they're watching, and they're not saying anything. And that also kind of scared me, because I'm like, what? Okay, so if you guys can see disruption in the class, in the school, and you're not doing anything about it, what happens when there's bullying? Because mind you, when in my previous primary school, I was already being bullied like heavy, dog. Why am I saying dog? In my previous primary school, I was already being bullied by these other girls in my class. I was being bullied by like randoms. I would just randomly get bullied, guys. I'd get bullied for having an afro. I'd get bullied for being black. I'd get bullied for being skinny. I used to be like super skinny. I'd get bullied for all these random shit, right? Okay, sharp. So I don't pay any mind to it. I get to the school, and in my previous primary school, when you get to the class, you just have to stand there in the front and introduce yourself to everyone. Tell them your name, your age, where you live, if you have a dog, you know, like introduce yourself so that it's easier for you to make friends. Guys, when I got to that school, there was no that shit. I stood in front of the class, everybody sat down, people were looking at me up and down, laughing in my face, saying shit that I did not understand. And that time I'm just like praying to God, like, yo, can I just get a seat and sit down? Okay, cool. The teacher comes in, my register teacher is this white lady, I forgot what her name was. She's like, why are you standing in front of the classroom? And I'm like, I don't know, like, you need to assign me to a seat where I'm gonna sit for the rest of the year, and that's gonna be my seat number on my book, so you know which table to put my test papers down and everything like that. Because that's how things were done in my primary school. Bitch, people laughed at me. She was like, no, just sit over there. Guys, this is Bridget, this is our new student. Yeah, she's gonna be in our class. Sit down. I sat down, and the teacher just started teaching. And I'm there, I'm in class, I made friends. I ended up being friends with this other girl. We'll call her Angela. We'll call that girl Angela, because Angela and I, the friendship was kind of rocky, and she was also like really weird. And I don't know, she was really weird. She had offish vibes. I don't know, something was just not right with that girl. But anyway, I became friends with Angela. That was like my first friend. And then Angela was also friends with like other people. So I became friends with, what did I call her now? What? Angela. I became friends with Angela and Khotatso. It's Angela and Khotatso. I became friends with them. But Angela had like a secret weird thing with this other guy. We'll call him Jolin. We'll call that guy Jolin. She had this weird thing with Jolin. I don't know if she and Jolin were dating, or if they were messing around or whatever, but it was just really weird. I'm not gonna lie. So okay, sharp. There I let it be. But now Jolin had a friend. Jolin's friend, let's call Jolin's friend Kaigo, right? We'll just call him Kaigo, because he's not gonna last long in the story. So Jolin had a friend named Kaigo. Kaigo and I started talking and everything. It started getting interesting. And mind you, I'm the new girl in school, so people are looking at, like, people are really watching me. They're paying attention to every little move I make. Cool. Me and Kaigo end up dating, and Jolin and Angela Jolin, Angela, and Khotatso are being like really funny towards me. They're acting. They started like shifting towards me, so I ended up like moving friendship groups, moving away from them, because I remember Angela said that she's a church girl, and yeah, she don't hang out with girls who get boyfriends at such a young age, because it's very disgusting in her opinion. And I was like, okay, cool, girl, chill. Respectfully, I was like, I backed off, and I was just always hanging out with Kaigo. But now I can't even get away from like Angela and Khotatso, because Kaigo is friends with Jolin. Jolin is friends with Angela and Khothadzo. So they're always hanging out together. Eventually, I found myself a different friendship group. Now, these girls were the mean girls. Oh my God. These girls were the mean girls of that primary school waiting. There were even, people even like, respected them. So these girls, was it 4? It was 4 girls. I was the 5th one who entered the group. So we'll give them names. It was, let's say, Tamia. There's Tamia. There's Regina. Regina's the main fucking one that I'm going to be talking about today. So there's Tamia, Regina, Sarusha. So there is Tamia, Regina, Sarusha, and Casey. Let's say Casey. Né? Or Jessica. Let's say Jessica. Jessica, Sarusha, Regina, Tamia. All of them with the A, because they were all mean. Sharp. I joined this friendship group, guys. I feel good. I'm feeling myself. I don't even know that one of them in this friendship group is after my man, right? Kaigo. I didn't know they liked Kaigo. Kaigo was also very cute, by the way. He's a very chubby, colored boy. Ne? So, sharp. I tell them like, oh yeah, no, I have a boyfriend. We end up being friends. We introduce each other. They actually approached me, by the way. They were like, no, let's hang out. You're very gorgeous and you'd fit in with us. That was like the whole thing. They're like, oh no, you're very beautiful. You'd fit in with us. Da, 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 da. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna become friends with y'all. I became friends with them. Alright? I became friends with them, right? Sharp. Our friendship seemed okay. I'm just gonna like skim through this part. Our friendship seemed okay. Everything was fine. We'd go out for we'd go out for long. Guys, people keep on calling me. I'm so annoyed. I'm so every time. All the days when I do not feel like filming, I haven't been filming in so long. No one's been calling me. Today I decide to film. They decide to call. Anyway, I was still saying that me and these girls became like really, really good friends. We would always go out and it was like a really nice sisterly bond. Like I really enjoyed being in their presence. They were such pretty girls and stuff, but at the same time they were so mean. They were so mean and I couldn't understand why were they mean like that. Why were they treating people like that? Like Tamia used to feel like the world revolved around her, especially because she was such a fan of this specific soccer club. And there was a time when we went to her place. So usually like after school we would all like take a walk down to her place and hang out there as friends, right? Her whole room from floor to ceiling, it was just this specific soccer club that she really loved. And I won't lie, she loved Chelsea. I won't mention the name of the soccer club. She really loved the Chelsea soccer team. And at first I didn't really like it, but because of her I ended up liking Chelsea. There's like where my love for Chelsea came from. And also ended up playing soccer in high school because Tamia made me like soccer, right? Okay, anyway, fast forward, like these girls were so mean to like so many people, and they would usually like, how do I put it, like whenever there was like a sports day or something and we would all be chilling on the school field together, they would find a way. And you see Kaigo and Jolin, yeah, Kaigo and Jolin, those two friends who are with, what's her name, Angela and Khothadzo, right? Tamia and Regina, they had a way of getting them to forget about the people that they're hanging out with, to leave them and come and hang out with us. I don't know how they did it, but they just did it. They used to call, like they used to demand attention, and the attention would come to their feet. And that's like one thing that I was like, fuck, okay, I also want to learn how to do this shit, you know? Anyway, fast forward, they started switching up on me. I don't remember how they started switching up on me clearly. Né? My primary school memory is not as clear as what happened in my high school memory, right? So these Loki started switching up on me. I don't know how. They also started switching up on Jessica. slowly started switching up on Jessica, and she left this friendship group. I don't know where the fuck she went. She just left this friendship group. So now it was just me, Tamia, Regina, and what's the other one that I named her? Is the other one that I named her? What did I name? Sarusha. So it was me, Tamia, Sarusha, and fucking Regina, right? Sharp. We got that out of the way. So until, like I said, after school we would usually go and hang out by Tamia's house, right? And Tamia and Regina lived in the same street, like literally a few houses apart from each other. So they were like more close than all of us in this group. So we go and we hang out there by Tamia's place. Now remember, I told you that I was a very skinny child growing up, and also like my boobs, guys, it took me so long to have boobs that can actually fill this small cup, right? Sharp. It took me forever to fill that cup. And I won't lie, like there was a time, and oh, another thing, Tamia and Regina, they had massive boobs. Like they had massive boobs. And Regina she had such a voluptuous body. We used to call her Nikki because she had like the body, the curves and stuff. Her body developed at a very early age. So she was like curves, everything. I wonder how she looks now. But we'll get into that. So yeah, she was always like going all out there. And mind you, these two girls, Regina and Tamia, they never had boyfriends and stuff. They were always like inside the house, very respectful, good girls, but they were like mean girls, but they had never done anything. Neither had I, right? Sharp. Guys, this one specific day we go to Regina's house to hang out. Not Regina's house, but Tamia's house to go and hang out. And they started making fun of, like, the whole walk home, they started making fun of my body, of like how skinny I am, like I don't have boobs. They were making like these very funny comments, and it was getting to me at a point like I started feeling bad. And I remember that day, I don't remember what exactly happened, but they were having like a bad day. And yo guys, this is just like trigger warning here, nah, because you really need to look out for yourselves and know who are like your real friends. So they knew that I was like in an abusive home, but they didn't know they didn't know how bad was. They didn't know how bad it was. I grew up in an abusive home with my dad beating up my mom and shit, right? So I think they maybe took advantage of that, because maybe they thought that like, she's used to it, so she'll be fine, you know. Hi guys, I go and I hang out with these bitches at their house, at Tamia's house, and they were making fun of my boobs, and it wasn't the summer. So we were changing into like more comfortable clothes. So we were taking off our school shirts. Mind you, I'm wearing like a little bra underneath there, and it was like my first pair of like actual bras with like the cups and stuff, like you going into like big girl bras, you know. But it wasn't even like that much. I remember the size I was wearing was a 12A. A size 12A. So we were taking off our school shirts, right, trying to get comfortable, and they were like, oh my gosh, they started laughing at me like, oh, she has such small boobs and da 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 da. So I was like, I started feeling uncomfortable, and I was like, yeah, like I have small boobs, like, you know, but my boobs are gonna grow. My mom says that my boobs are definitely gonna grow bigger. Mind you, at that time I'm literally only like 13, or maybe like I'm still 12, about to turn 13. I don't even remember. They were like, oh, let's play a little game. Mind you, we were in Tamia's room. Tamia, I think she was an only child as well. She was very spoiled. So we were in Tamia's bedroom, and hey guys, they were like, lay on the bed. They were like, lay on the bed, we want to play a game. So I was like, what game do you guys want to play? And they're like, no, it's not going to be fun if we tell you, just lay on the bed and we're going to play a game. We're going to see how much pain you can handle. And I'm just like, now I'm thinking like, oh yeah, nah, definitely, like, let's play this game, because like it's adrenaline rushing or whatever, right? Sharp, guys. Oh, it's getting super dark outside. I'm like, okay, no, sharp, I'm gonna play this game with these girls. bra. I remove my shirt, I remove my bra. They grab my, as I was about to put my bra by my bag, this bitch Regina, she grabs my bra, she checks the tag on the bra, she checks it, she looks at Tamia, she starts laughing, like laughing her lungs out. She shows Tamia. Tamia's like, what is it? Tamia grabs the bra, she checks the tag. They both looked at me, guys, and they laughed their lungs out. When I tell you I had never felt so hurt, I felt so hurt that day. And then they were like, lay on the bed. I laid on the bed, and then they started like slapping my back, like, trigger warning, guys, they started like profusely slapping my back, like with a lot of anger. Like, it's like they were taking their anger out from whatever happened throughout the day. It's like they were taking that anger out on me. So they were slapping my back and like laughing, and they were like, why aren't you laughing? Isn't it funny? Why aren't you laughing? There's this movie that I used to watch on what is this channel? I know this one movie called Girl Fight and the Fab Four. So those girls were literally portraying that whole girl fight scenario, busy beating up my back, right? Okay, cool. Hi, bruh. I'm like, okay, sharp. They're busy hitting my back. I'm laughing, but they can't see my face because my face is facing down on the bed. So like, as I'm making laughing sounds, I'm actually crying, yo guys. And then when they picked me up from the bed, when they were done, they picked me up from the bed and they realized that I had been crying this entire time instead of laughing. And they're like, how, you've been crying? And I'm like, yeah, it's painful. And to me it's like, oh, you're gonna be fine, we were just playing with you anyways, but yeah, you can go home now, guys. And I went home, I packed my bag and I went home, and I felt so sad. I was so sad, guys. And I was like, never again am I gonna go to this bitch's house. Later that year, in like a couple of months, Tamia's parents got divorced. And as sad as it is, it's not nice for your parents to get divorced. But after what she and Regina had pulled on me, I was like, yeah, good. I was like, yeah, good fucking riddance. Good fucking riddance. They started going through the process of divorce, and the following year we all went to grade 8, right? So now we all split, we're in different schools. So I'm in Princess High School, they are in Addis, right? So, hey guys, so just hold on. Regina and Tamia both end up in the same high school, and sharp. So now I'm in the high school that's across theirs. Wow, this is just yeah, so I'm in the high school that's across theirs, right? So naturally, when I was there, I decided that, you know what, I need to make new friends. But I'm also like quite introverted, so it took me a very, very long time to make like actual friends, right? Cool. Mind you, throughout this grade 8 year, like our friendships slowly started to decline, but I was still like in grade 8. I used to bunk school a lot, you guys. I used to bunk school a lot, but that's gonna be like a separate story time. I used to bunk school a lot, and I would sometimes bunk school with Regina, because Regina and I started becoming very close to a point where I would even like invite her to my house. Like, I'd be at her place, we'd like, and her older brother and my older sister started dating. It was like a whole thing, and she actually became a very, very nice friend to have in the end, right? But not to the full end. No, I'm saying grade 8, right? Cool. And then I don't know if it was in grade 8 or grade 9, we bunked to go to this other party. Like, not bunked, I mean ran away from home to go let me do this. We ran away from home to go to this other party, right? Okay, sharp. This that specific day, I think, like, because we got in trouble, she was also such a good girl. She had never banged or like ran away from home and stuff like that, so she got into a lot of trouble at home, as did all of us who ran away, except for like my best friend at the time. There's a story time that I have where I was like cheating on this other guy. He caught me cheating on him twice. Then there was like Stacy and Tasha, the two sisters. Stacy was my best friend. It was Stacy who never got in trouble because her mom knew that we were gonna go to this party, and her mom led us. So me and Regina had an alibi that we were gonna go and hang out with Stacy at Stacy's place. But my parents were like super strict, they wouldn't let me go anywhere, so I just ran away from home. And Regina also just ran away from home, so her two older brothers were like profusely seeking for her, and it was fucking scary because they like from the Cape Flats. And if you know anything about the Cape Flats, you don't want to fuck with people from the Cape Flats, okay? So sharp, guys. After that incident, our friendship just started to like decline, and understandably so, because like now we both have like a bad reputation. We'll be together, no one will ever trust us, right? Sharp. Yeah, our friendship started to decline. So I would see her sometimes, like sometimes I would go and visit her at her place. Sometimes I would go to school and go and be at her place with her, right? But there came a time when I was waiting at the bus stop. So we had a bus stop that was literally across Regina's school, like right in front of Regina's school, and just like a little walking distance from my school. Like we're in high school right now, remember that. So it's like just a little walking distance from my school, and it's like right in front of Regina's school. I get to that bus stop, I'm waiting for her, I'm looking for her, because like usually I'd see her like around that area. Mind you, around this time Tamia had already moved elsewhere with her mom, because I mean her parents divorced, and Jessica just disappeared. Sarusha was also in the same school as Regina, but Regina and Sarusha stopped talking, like completely stopped talking. There was I. So I get to that bus stop. I'm looking for Regina. Hi guys, Regina again. And I'm like asking people, hi, have you seen Regina? Have you seen Regina? Da, 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 da. And they're like, nah, Regina doesn't even come to school anymore. I'm like, no. What you mean by that? They're like, yeah, Regina don't come to school no more. Like she comes when she wants to come. So I was like, oh, that does not sound like her. Because remember, like I said, Regina's also like low-key a good girl at heart, at home. She's very much a good girl, right? Hi guys. So I end up going to her place directly, because like I'm worried about my friend. I go to her place directly to find out like if she's okay. I get there. Hi, homegirl is chilling at home with these other niggas. She made new friends with these other guys. I don't know who the fuck they are. And she's like, hi friend, I'm okay. Da, 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 da. Now I've just been hanging out here. We've been drinking. My parents have gone. Mind you, also around the same time, I win grade 9. Grade 9. This was in grade 9. Now, mind you, she has never been like a boy crazy girl. Until this. Shop guys, now I decided because I'm gonna go and visit my friends, find out if she's okay. I get there, she's hanging out with these other niggas. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know who these guys are. Mind you guys, remember what I said in the beginning, I'm fully black, guys. I'm black, I'm not mixed in any shape, way or form. Other than, yes, my great grandfather was white. He was German, but obviously through bloodline and getting children and stuff, it's diluted. So I will not count myself as mixed. I'm black, right? Sharp. She's hanging out with these other niggas, guys, and I'm just like, what's wrong? Regina, Kimang O. And she tells me like, nah, I'm just hanging out with my man and da 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 da. And I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up at this point now, me and what you call this thing? Me and Regina, our friendship starts to become closer again. So I'm back with Regina. We're enjoying. She's also she's those friends who have I don't know why am I always friends with those who have a resting bitch face. Like all my friends have such a resting bitch face, guys. Like I'm the only one who doesn't have a resting bitch face. At least I think I don't have a resting bitch face, but if I put all my friends in one video, you'll see that they all have a resting bitch face. So Regina had a resting bitch face, right? So I was so used to her, and she also used to have like some sort of an attitude, but I knew that my friend, she's naturally this type of girl. I got used to her at one point. So okay, sharp guys. She's acting all chilled with me, and mind you, when I got there, apparently it wasn't everyone who was supposed to arrive, right? It was just her and her older brothers and stuff, and she was at home. So I was like, oh friend, what's going on? Then she told me that now her parents are getting a divorce and her mom is currently in Cape Town at her sister's place. So I was like, friend, I'm so sorry. Obviously, naturally consoling my friend. I bet she makes me food. One thing about that girl, she always make me food. She makes me food. I chill, I eat, we're talking. Her brothers are also like catching up. Mind you, around that time, my older sister and her brother broke up. Right? Okay, sharp. So me and old girl, we busy talking here, catching up, like what's been happening lately. And then I found out that oh girl lost her virginity. So I'm like, oh, you know, welcome to the club, because I lost my virginity at a very young age. So she lost her V card, and I was just like, oh my gosh, girl, welcome to the fucking club, baby, welcome to the party. Nah, I did not know. You know, if there's one thing, guys, nah, I do not like being friends, and this may sound like very biased to some people who are still virgins at a very grown big age. I personally do not want to be friends with any girl who is still a virgin who only broke their virginity when they like finished high school, or when they got to like grade 11 or something like that. Because you know why? Most of them, they become bitches after they lose their virginity. And let me tell you this, it's not to say like I'm bashing girls and like you should have sex at a very early age, but so much just pain stuff. I'm not saying like you should be a baby and lose your virginity at a very early age, nah, but a lot of girls, after they lose their virginity, they don't give a fuck about their friends no more. If this nigga comes through and says like, yo, dump your friend on the side of the road, they're gonna do that, just because it's their nigga who said that, right? So, and also, like, they'll always just want to be with other niggas and constantly switch, and it gets irritating at a point, right? Okay, sharp, get home. She tells me that she lost her V card, and I'm just like, wow, Fred, like, okay, welcome to the party, da, 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 da. How did it happen? She tells me how it happened. Cool. I'm unaware that she broke her V card with her brother's best friend, her older brother's best friend. So it's like, oh, okay, I don't know about y'all, but me and my siblings have a very strict rule. You're not gonna date my friends, and my friends are not gonna date you, and that's just that. And I feel like it's an unspoken rule. Like, it's something you should know from the get-go, right? Sure. So I'm like, oh, you out here like that? And she's like, yeah, you know, it was so nice. Oh, let me tell you, she did this. And let me tell you guys, I have another story time about a boy crazy friend that I had when I was in college. As if the high school one was not enough. So, sharp. Okay, guys. She's now also telling me like, nah, her man is also coming over later on. I'm gonna meet him. Da, 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 da. Mind you, remember, she doesn't know me from back in the day. And because I used to live in Davidsonville. From Davidsonville, I moved to Witwatersrand. Like, my family moved to Witwatersrand. My parents used to move around a lot. I don't know for what reasons, but we were always moving around, right? So, sharp, we moved to Witwatersrand, and she was telling me that like, she broke her virginity with this guy, and he's coming over later on. Sharp, guys, I stayed there later on, and she was acting like very chilled with me. All along she was very chilled. All along everything was just fine. Guys, when I tell you, as soon as this nigga showed up, I knew him. That guy is my sister's. No, yo, guys. Anyway, the guy that she broke her virginity with comes through, and mind you, this guy, like, I know him. This guy's younger brother was my first boyfriend. This guy and my family are family friends, so we know him. And this guy and my older sister's ex boyfriend are best friends. You get what I'm saying? And she knew this. No, she didn't know this. She didn't know this specific drama. And then, okay, stop. So I'm just there like, wow. Okay, I keep quiet. I greet the guy. He's like, yo, well, how you been? I haven't seen you in so long. Da, 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 da. And homegirl sees that this guy and I know each other, and we're really catching up at this point. So she gets mad. You know what she does, guys? she starts bad mouthing me. You know those friends who start talking about all the embarrassing shit that you've done when there's like other niggas around. She starts talking about like, yo, remember that day when we used to beat you on your back? And I remember when you used to wear a size 12A. Do you still wear a size 12A as a bra? Da, 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 da. Like, humiliating me, Sana. You. And I'm just like, this bitch. So, okay, cool. That day I didn't stay long. I ended up going home. When I got home, I told my sister, my older sister, I was like, hey, Tisha, my older sister, Tisha, I was like, yo, Disha, I just come from Regina's house, and this is what happened. I explained to my sister that this is what's been happening there, and I didn't feel comfortable. My sister's like, Regina and this guy, let's call him, I was about to call him his real name. He has such a nice real name, actually. Let's call him Jerome. Let's call this guy Jerome. So I told my sister like, hey, I just come from Regina's place, and apparently Regina is in a relationship with Jerome. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. So Regina and Jerome are an entire thing. So my sister's like, ain't no fucking way. My sister calls her ex. She asks him, and he's like, yeah, like they dating, like full. That whole thing happened. So I decided, let me just keep it to myself. I'm not gonna act weird about it. I'm not gonna defriend her just like because she's dating this specific guy or whatever, right? And one day, guys, I decided, what? Oh no, I don't feel like going to. I don't feel like going to school. So I didn't go to school. I went to her place, directly to her place, guys. I get to her place, mind you, it's just her and I there. It's just her and I. So now I'm all chilled, and I'm like, I'm telling her, like, I remember I was venting to her. Something was happening at home because like I said, I grew up in an abusive home. So I was venting to her as a friend, like, hey, when I came home, this and this shit was happening, right? And she's just like, oh my gosh, friend, I'm so sorry, consoling me and all that. Guys, that consoling did not last long. You know why? Literally 30 minutes later, a car. Oh, there was also a time. Okay, let me finish this part. 30 minutes later, there was a car with like full of guys that just showed up, and it's the guys that I also know, right? 30 minutes later, a car full of these guys just showed up, and she was all happy and shit. Suddenly, she didn't give a fuck about what I'm going through. Suddenly, she didn't give a fuck about what I was saying. She started acting funny, acting bougie, acting fresh. When these guys came, they were like, no, let's swim. Mind you, it's in the summer, right? So everyone was like, guys, let's have a swim, da 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 da. And then I was like, oh yeah, cool, no problem, let's swim. And everyone was like glorifying how big her booty was, right? Everybody was glorifying how big her ass is, and she's a Nicki Minaj, da da da, this, that, and the third. Here I come with my skinny self, guys. Was I not being laughed at? Not even laughed at. These guys didn't mind how skinny I was. She brought it up. She was like, oh yeah, you see how thick I am in my bikini, da, da, da. And she deliberately wore a thong, and she gave me some oversized grandma looking fucking thing, guys. Hey. And so now I'm just like watching her from a distance. I'm swimming, I'm minding my own business at this point, because the only thing that this girl is doing is busy shaming me, bad mouthing me, and telling everyone how much I want the attention she has because I'm not there.
So pick me, choose me, love me.
And I was just like, I thought this girl changed. She didn't change. Mind you, earlier that week, she didn't go to school. There was even a point in grade 9 where she dropped out, guys. She dropped out of school because all she was focusing on was having sex, right? Okay, was it grade 9 or grade 10? I don't remember, but she just dropped out, guys. And Linda, I started minimizing the amount of time that I spent with her, like my communication with her, all of that shit. Like I started to decrease that because of her attitude and how she was treating me. And then there came another time where she was telling me about how she and her man broke up, right? So she and her man broke up, and she was really sad about it, and blah 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 blah, right? And I was consoling her as a friend. I was consoling her, and then Chiki, my sister's ex, the one that we called to confirm, like, yo, is it true that old girl is busy with this guy? This nigga comes through, and mind you, that guy, I hate him so much. In my previous story time with Stacy and Sasha, where I was caught cheating twice, I remember I said that I was homeless for like one night because I had a verbal altercation with the guy and he kicked me out. It's him. He's the one who made me sleep on the street for like an entire fucking evening. He didn't give a fuck, and also he was also like abusing my sister. So I really, really fucking hated him. So she didn't know about the abusing situation, but she knew that it was my sister's ex. And I'm not saying like lick my sister's ass, but she went and she slept with him, guys, while I was there in the house. I didn't even know that they were fucking. Like, she just disappeared. I was busy swimming, and there was also like other guys there. I was busy swimming. I was busy having the time of my life in the pool, where the people were calling me super skinny or assless or whatever, or anorexic. I did not care. And mind you guys, when I was in when I was in primary school up until grade 9ish, grade 8ish or 9ish, I had, I don't know what that sickness is, if it's even a sickness, please don't quote me, but my body was not able to hold food in for like a prolonged period of time. So if I eat, like literally 10-15 minutes later, I throw up. That food is just gonna come out. And it's not like I was doing I wasn't doing that. Like, I would just stand up after eating, and it would just like, I just feel my stomach just wants to. So because of that, I couldn't get fat. Like, I couldn't gain weight and whatnot. And my parents even tried getting like medical help. At one point, my parents thought that like maybe I'm pregnant, and that wasn't even the case. Like, I was just sick. I don't know what was happening. I was just sick. So I couldn't gain weight, and this bitch kept on like teasing me about it, and she knew what was happening, and she kept on like teasing me about it. And whenever we were like around other guys, she would talk about it and say like, oh yeah, I'm trying to become like a Victoria's Secret model or some shit like that. I can't remember, but she was always saying some hurtful shit to me. So apparently, like, I even stopped telling her like when I was getting sick. I stopped eating at her place. I just stopped doing so many stuff with her, because it started becoming very, like, how do I put it? It started becoming very like hurtful just talking to her about like certain issues, because like, you're my friend. Are you not supposed to like have my back or whatever, you know? So now, growing up in an abusive home and being bullied throughout my primary school life, and like somewhat in grade 8, the whole grade 8, I was being bullied. Like, from start to finish in grade 8, I was being bullied. And I told this bitch, this so-called of a friend, Regina. I told Regina what was happening, and she would laugh at me. She would laugh at me. So that day when I went to her place, when these other niggas showed up, she started talking about how her hair is, she's colored, so she has like naturally like long lushy hair and stuff. So she was literally telling the niggas that like, oh yeah, my hair is natural, da 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 da. You say it, kafarara, say it's a pitakop. Like, guys, let me tell you something. There's something I can tell you here. Half of, like, let me say quarter of the reason why I understand Afrikaans today is because of that girl. It's because of the way she used to like say shit about me. That's how I know Afrikaans. Where was I? I was busy swimming, and these niggas were busy laughing at me, saying that skinny, like they were just guys, they were just saying some really hurtful shit about me that it really hurt. I didn't appreciate it, you know. And I also told her like, hey, please tell your guy friends. And mind you, her guy friends were my sister's guy friends, my older sister's guy friends. So whenever my older sister's guy friends were with her, they would treat me like a human being. But whenever they're with this bitch and I'm there, they would treat me like nothing, except for this other cute guy. His name was Leslie. He was so, like, God bless his soul. And even if I meet him again one day, like, I will never forget what a sweetheart he was. He almost looked like Peter Parker from Spider-Man, like the first Spider-Man, the very first Spider-Man, that Peter Parker. So yeah, guys, what else did I say? There was another time where I came by to an old girl's place, and I found her, like, it was in the morning. Mind you, it was in the morning, back in school, naturally, yeah, we went to a place, and she was sleeping, and she came out, she opened the gate, she was in her uniform, but she was like, you can see like the clothes are like, how do you, like, it's crumpled. When the shirt is like very like the uniform and everything is very crumpled, even the school jersey is like crumpled, her hair's like fucked up. So I was like asking like, girl, what the fuck happened? She said, no, I've been in bed the whole day since yesterday. I've been sleeping. I went out, my boyfriend came, I went out and I just came back like 1 a.m. I'm like, growing up with strict parents, I'm just like, your mama ain't say shit. Your mama ain't said shit. After she did so many other things to me, I just can't fully remember them. But she got back with the guy, and she and I started like, I stopped going to see her as often as I used to. And the one time I decided, you know what, let me go and visit homegirl. Then she was like, oh yeah, no, me and not nigga, I'm not calling nigga, I forgot what I call it, but me and oh boy got back together and like we happy and shit. And I was like, oh wow, you know, happy for you, girl, congratulations, you got your man back. And then I didn't see her again for a while. Jiki, I bumped into her after school, guys. I bumped into her after school by the bus stop. I told you that like I would find her at the bus stop or like across the school, because the bus stop is like literally across, like the school is there, the bus stop is there, then across the school, that's where like all the transport would wait. I found her there where all the transports would wait, right? And I see, hi man, oh girl, it looks different. Like she visibly looks different. Like homie, oh, wait, Regina's naturally like a big girl, right? Regina George is naturally like a big girl, but she was looking extra big, child. And I'm just there with my skinny ass, and I'm like looking at her and I'm like, man, what's going on? And she was like, oh, she turns around. When she turns, like I'm looking at her from the front like this, she looks normal. When she turns to the side, mukaba, a huge mukaba. So I was like, what that is, girl?
What his name is, girl?
And she was like, oh yeah, no, I'm pregnant. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm pregnant. She was pregnant with that guy's child, né? And she just dropped out of school. I never saw her after that, and I don't think she went back to school to actually finish school. So that was just another turn of events. Like that friendship that I had with her was, I don't know, it was very weird, man. She would also get jealous if like other niggas are looking at me, or if they're not really paying attention to her. She'd get very angry. That guy, I don't know, I don't even know if they lasted, because apparently word on the street was they kept on breaking up and making up, like way before she even gave birth. It was giving Chloe and what's his face, that ugly guy that Khloe Kardashian is with, I don't know, that Tristan. He was giving Tristan Thompson. This guy was giving her so much stress, guys, to a point where I remember she told me that she broke up with him again. This was like during the full pregnancy. She just, she had this tendency of what you call this thing, making sure that whenever you like in front of a guy that you liked or something, or like, or no, actually I have a better one. She had this tendency of whenever like I would ask her to back me up or cover me up or something like that, if the guy that I like is there, she would literally sell me out. Yeah, anyways guys, this is the end of my story time. This is my look. Also, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and share this video if you will. I'm also definitely gonna come back with another story time, and maybe definitely with better lighting, because this lighting is not happening. This lighting is not on, girl. But anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.
Why you say I did nothing for you, and if I do anything you want me to do, somebody got you.